I'm not really sure how to start these recordings, but I think this is going to be the one that gets posted first, as I kind of have a direction with what I'm thinking about. So last night I had this dream. It was about my father is alive. My father hasn't passed yet. So I was meeting him at the gates of heaven because I had to give him a suitcase that he had forgotten. I had not passed. I had just, for some reason, been allowed to travel up north. I think that's a good way to call heaven, is up north. And I went to give him this suitcase, and I gave him a hug, and I'm probably going to start crying. But I gave him this hug, and I said, "You forgot your suitcase." And he said, "What's in the suitcase?" And I said, "All of our hearts. Because you need to carry them forever." And I kind of think that is how I think of caretakers. The caretakers that I've had for my husband have each carried our hearts. The one that I have right now, I hope will be with us forever. But the first one, his name was Tom, and he was with us for a year. And although he went in a different direction and became, had just some negative activities that he brought into my home in the beginning, he was truly my husband's best friend. They went to New York together. They went on journeys together. They took time and they went to this music session place where my husband could do boxing. He really brought a lot of love into our home. And for that, I'll forever be grateful. And he had our heart for a period of time. And I hope that he is able to carry our heart, knowing that he did provide a bit of love. The second two were fantastic, and each in their own way. One was kind of, with a gruff voice and missing teeth and a good laugh. And my husband was able to talk to her about, certain different topics that were very important to him. Whereas the second one, who did the second shift, was softer and happier and had a very holistic perspective, and she was very joyful, and she became my best friend. And it was kind of fun how the two of them, the two caretakers, really brought our lives together, and while they were taking care of him. And the third, the fourth one that I have now, who I hope will be with us forever, she doesn't only take care of my husband, and she doesn't only listen to me, and I don't only listen to her, because she definitely needs a support system as well. She has a very full life with, I think it's 6 grandchildren that are nieces that just they needed a house, they needed a home, and my caretaker is able to provide that, along with her 4 birth children. She's got a 2-year-old, a 9-year-old, and I think 3 16-year-olds, all in her home, and she takes care of everybody. She has this ability to care for everyone. She is the ultimate caretaker. And I say it like that, caretaker, 2 separate words, because that's what it is. They are taking care of us. They are taking care. And that is just such an important philosophy. It goes back to healthcare, where I think a lot of doctors have forgotten about the philosophy of health care, caring for your health. So many doctors are now just people that are looking for the dollar, and that's not giving my husband the care that he needs. We went up to this doctor in the northern part of the state. We had waited 3 months to get this appointment, and she was very thorough. I cannot say she wasn't thorough, but after the appointment, she just gave me a stack of papers and said, "Go do this." Now, with the insurance that I have to present that stack of papers to my doctor, who then has to get referrals from the state to approve those referrals, then to find doctors that are, that are in our plan. And I'm just not sure how to do any of that, because in the past, the other states I've worked in, there was a system. And there appears to be no system in the state of Florida. It is the worst health care that I have ever had. And if there was someone I could talk to about that in the state to see if there's a better program that can be initiated, I would want to do that. I would want that job, because I have initiated health care for my husband in California, for my husband in New Jersey, for my husband in New York, and for all of those places he had health care. He had good, solid follow-up from the specialists, and I don't have that now. Anyway, back to the caretakers. So yesterday, my caretaker, she's got a hernia, so she can't lift my husband, and she's got no air conditioning in her car, and she drives an hour to come to me. And yesterday she drove to me in the rain with her windows closed, and she showed up just looking like life has taken like one of those massive fans to her body and soul and put it on high and just blown her apart. And I said to her, just sit down. He's fine. Sit down and tell me everything. And so my home isn't big. It's 800 square feet. So we, and I wasn't working yesterday. I had to take care of bills and paperwork and everything that was, on my desk, and clean the oven. And, the caretaker doesn't only have to take care of your spouse or your person when you are out of the home. If you are in the home and you have nothing to do, having someone there to run interference so that you can complete a task is very important. So I was able to clean, maybe 75% of my stove and coordinate 75% of the paperwork on my table. I was able to do stuff, and in between me saying to her, what do you need? Talk to me, tell me everything. And she did. And I looked at her, not holding my phone, not with my glasses on, because that's an indicator that I'm not paying attention. And my glasses were on the table, and my phone was on the table, and I just said, tell me everything. And she had to share with me for hours. She had hours of things going on in her life, and I don't think she had anyone to care, to listen. And maybe her children listened, but maybe she needed an impartial ear just to listen. And that is one of the characteristics that I look for with my husband. I don't need them to give him advice. I need them to listen. She is a friend who, with compassion, who will say, just talk to me. And it's different from a psychologist, because the psychologist is trying to take those puzzle pieces and fix them, or make the puzzle pieces connect together. What is this from your past, and what is this from your future, and what is this from your heart, and why are you crying, and put it all together to make this picture so that you can survive. Whereas my caretaker or my caretakers have just listened to him and encouraged him so that he can survive. And that's kind of what I did yesterday. I am not saying I'm a caretaker for her. Hold on, I'm going to take a drink. And I am a caretaker for him, but sometimes the job is not the medicine, and it is not praying. It is just sitting and listening and being there, present for the person. And that is what I need, he needs, my caretaker obviously needed, and which takes me back to that dream I had of my father, because the caretaker takes part of your heart. And my parents have been the most caring people I'm so lucky to have them. They have been the most caring people. And no, their job was not caretaker, but their characteristic of being a parent set me up for such beautiful compassion and, or vision to see other people's woes. And maybe that's what makes me such a good bartender, is that when I'm not just serving drinks, I am bringing joy. I am standing behind a bar, giving someone a drink and listening to them. The bartender has so many roles as opposed to just making a drink. A good, solid bartender, in my opinion. And that's why I've always loved this job. So maybe my life has been surrounding, hold on, now I have to sniffle. Now my life has been surrounded by these opportunities of people, of jobs. But I'm lucky. I'm lucky to have her. I'm lucky for every caretaker that has ever entered my life, that has helped me with him. I am just lucky. And let's see how many minutes that is. So, because you know what? I'm not getting paid by anybody. All right, 11 minutes. We're good. All right, that's a good one for today. All right, thanks so much.